Let's rank. The wall makes its grand entrance as the first boss in Stage 1. It's not too difficult. It's got two turrets that have projectiles that just kind of swoop over onto the ground, and it has a red trooper on the top. Now, it's really important that you take out the red trooper first, because he acts kind of like a sniper, so take him out quickly, and remember before the boss fight, take out the turret right before, because it will join the boss fight. Other than that, this boss definitely deserves to be ranked out of 1. It's not too hard, it's pretty easy, and it's a really good boss to introduce to the game. For the second stage boss, we're introduced to Garmakilma, and yes, that's his real name, thanks to the Contra wiki fandom page, and going forward, I'm going to be using all of those names. There's a lot of bizarre names, but anyways, Garmakilma can be quite difficult when you're first introduced because of the turrets that do a tri-projectile shot at you. When I was first playing against this boss, I was like, really? It's gonna go from 0 to 100 like that. The one important thing you need to remember when you're taking on this boss is take out the power cores last. If you take out the power cores first, not only are you taking on the turrets, you're also taking on Garmakilma as well. And I know it's easier said than done by saying, oh, just take out the turrets first and then the power cores. The power cores are in the way, and yeah, it can be quite difficult. So try your best to do the turrets and then the power cores. And with that being said, if anyone can make the mistake of taking out the power cores first, then the turrets, I'm ranking Garmakilma at a 7. In Stage 3, we're introduced to Gromaides, a alien building hybrid boss, and I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. And going forward, I apologize if I pronounce every other name wrong, but yeah, Gromaides. He has 2 arms that shoot projectiles and a mouth that shoots a tri-projectile shot. The goal here is to take out the 2 arms first and then the head. With his arms, his projectiles seem to always kind of, one always seems to hit the mark, and the other one just kind of seems to not go anywhere at all. And if that doesn't make sense to you, let me just kind of elaborate on that. So one arm should be kind of semi-homing, while the other just misses you completely, so just be careful of that. When you're destroying it, try not to get too close, because I find the projectiles go out lightning fast when you're that close. When you destroy the 2 arms, then you can hit the head. And you can stand in one spot while hitting the head, because he has a stationary tri-shot. And other than that, he's pretty simple, but I find his arm projectiles is what makes him difficult in the beginning, so I'm gonna rank Gromaides at a 5. In Stage 4, we're introduced to Godomuga, or Godomuga, however you pronounce it. And for me, he was one of the worst bosses in the whole game. Like, I died several times to Godomuga. And the layout of the boss and his design is pretty unique, but also frustrating because as soon as the boss fight loads up, kind of like a computer, you have 1 turret and power cores, and you have troops coming from the left and right. And like before in Stage 2, you want to make sure that you take out the power cores last. So taking out that turret first is extremely important. Once you do that, and you take out all the troops and everything, Godomuga appears. So there's 2 of them, or 2 parts of him, however you want to perceive him. And he shoots semi-homing projectiles. Now, you can either jump over them or shoot them, but if you shoot them and you miss, you're definitely going to pay for it. Like, I have misjudged so many projectiles and lost so many lives being like, oh yeah, I can totally take out that projectile, and it didn't work. But what also Godomuga does is he creates a phantom image. Now during this phantom image phase, you can't hurt him. So you have to wait until he goes back together as one and start dealing damage to him. So that's what kind of caught me off guard a lot during the first part of being introduced to him for the first time. I'm being like, why can't I damage him? And then I'm like, oh, right. They have to be together as one in order to deal damage to him. Him, they, I'm confused at what Godomuga is really, so. But I have no doubt giving Godomuga the highest ranking of difficulty in all of Contra at a 9. He's tough, he's definitely a unique design for a boss, and that's why I believe he deserves a 9. In stage 5, we're introduced to Guldaf, or Guldaf. What he does is he teleports, why do I say transports? He teleports around the boss fight, spawning mechanical devices that can easily overwhelm you because you have to juggle hitting its weak point, which is the thrusters, and taking out the mechanical devices. So you have to juggle, oh wait, I gotta hit the thrusters. Oh no wait, the mechanical devices are coming at me. So it can definitely be overwhelming for a new player for the first time. But once you get the hang of it, he can be quite easy, but it's so easy to think like, oh, I'm in the clear, I'm in the clear, I can keep hitting the thrusters. Oh no wait, the enemies are coming from left and right, I'm dead. So with that logic, I'm ranking Guldaf at a 6. In stage 6, we're introduced to Gordea, a massive muscular alien. Now, what he does is he walks from left to right, and once he reaches the end of the screen, he jumps. Or he may not jump. It's completely random. And he also may randomly shoot spinning blades at you, 1 or 2 of them. So be on the lookout for that. And he can also kill you by bumping into you. So you're gonna have to practice jumping over him. And believe me, the first couple of times, you're going to underjump it. Don't sweat it. You're going to get it right. Keep trying. But for me, Gordea is so random. His actions are completely random for me. And I think he's the second most difficult boss in Contra. And that's why I'm ranking him at an 8. In stage 7, we're introduced to the final gate, which to me, it's just a remix of the stage 1 boss. There's 2 turrets in the ground which shoot explosive rounds. As these rounds explode, they become 3 different projectiles. So in total, you have to dodge accordingly 8 different projectiles. So that's quite annoying. And out of the gate comes troopers, and they only run as far as I know. I've never seen them shoot. And from time to time, I have seen the odd trooper come from the left. So be very careful with that. But once you destroy the 2 turrets in the ground, all you have to do is destroy that thing above the gate and you're set. So this boss isn't too difficult, and I'm ranking it at a 3. In the first part of stage 8, we're introduced to the Emperor Demon Dragon God Java. That's a long name to pronounce and not to stumble over. And while he might look incredibly intimidating, he is incredibly easy. All you have to do is park yourself in the corner here and shoot at him. I know aliens come out, but you can easily dismiss them. It's such a shame that it's such an easy boss, and I'm ranking the Emperor Demon Dragon God Java at a 2. In the final part of Stage 8, we're introduced to the giant beating heart known as the Gomeramos King, or Gomeramos King. He can spawn 2 aliens at the top and 2 aliens at the bottom. Now you do have the option to destroy the alien pods that spawn the aliens. I would highly recommend to destroy the ones at the bottom, but if you want a challenge, don't destroy the alien pods. Other than that, he's a pretty simple boss. Once you dodge the aliens if you want to or destroy them, you can just keep targeting the heart. It's kind of sad that the endgame boss was really easy, so I'm going to have to rank him out of 4. Now that we've gone through the game, let's put the bosses in order by their ranked difficulty. Did any of these surprise you? Which bosses give you the most trouble? Comment below! Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm Rob J. Thank you for entering the Nova, and I'll see you next time. Take care!